All right, Greg and Jimmy finally back with another edition of Who You Got. It's been a 2-week hiatus, Jimmy. You've been a little lazy. See what I did there? But we're back. So, Jimmy, how's your 2 weeks been? How's it been treating you?
It's been a wild ride. We've had a lot of fun, had a lot of crying, but we're still here. We're back in action. How about yourself?
Well, let me just be frank to the audience. It's good we weren't here these last 2 weeks because the picks were
Not great.
ice cold,
Yeah,
especially in college against the spread. So, it's like
and we could lie to you and say we've had a good 2 weeks. Wish we would have given you our picks, but you're lucky you didn't have them.
we had a good week after the last Thursday show. Last week, just be happy we never talked to you because
Yeah,
it did not go well. It did
yeah,
not go well.
yeah. A couple of special no thanks. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills. Special no thanks to you, and we'll end with the Detroit Lions, two of our favorite teams. Both of them let us down immensely this weekend.
Let us down hard, and we'll run through the whole board later in the show. But hey, let's start with the MLB playoffs. A couple other teams that let us down a little bit, and that was the Detroit Tigers with their best pitcher on the hill in a Game 5. Couldn't come through for us. That kind of started our week. This guy goes out there, strikes out, what was it, 13? Throws 6, and the Tigers can't get a run. It's just like, it's amazing when these aces go on the hill, the teams forget to hit for them.
Yeah, we should have known that was going to be the start of our bad week because we had a same game parlay that hit with him pitching. So we had him going, I think over 9.5 strikeouts. The other two were like a hit and a run, something stupid, and the guys couldn't get it in 15 innings. If
I
you
know.
would have told me we were getting 15 innings out of it, I would have. Yeah, nope.
Yeah. You had 8 at bats, you jerk. You can't get on base once for us.
Yeah, that's all. We weren't asking a lot here. Pretty simple ask.
And then the Jays got by the Yanks. We had a feeling that was going to happen. But then they just fall on their face to the Mariners. I guess you got to tip your hat to the Mariners.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought the Jays were going to go. I mean, they look great against the Yankees.
Yeah.
I'm I'm surprised to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday wasn't even close in Game 2, so they go to the West Coast down 2-0. So, I mean, it's all but over there. And then in the NL, I mean, Brewers lost Game 1 at home, and, they gutted it out to get here and over the Cubs. Dodgers had no trouble with the Phillies, which was kind of surprising, too, that the Phillies just didn't really put up a fight. So, here we are. We sit here again with, is anyone going to take the Dodgers out? Now it looks like if Milwaukee doesn't win tonight, it looks like it's going to have to be Seattle. If it becomes Seattle-Dodgers, do you have any faith that the Mariners could pull it off?
Not a ton. I mean, LA's getting hot at the right time. I think Seattle might. They're playing good, but I don't know. I think LA, like if their players get hot at the right time, they're just too talented, and I think that's kind of where we are. Look, I still have hope for the Brewers. They played great all year. Let's see what happens. But I think if LA gets past them, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah, that's what I think. And if LA wins tonight, I think it's over.
Oh, yeah. If LA goes up 2-0 going home, it's good night.
Done.
Brewers will have to win one here, and then steal one in LA, get it back home, and see if they can go 2-0 at home, game 6 and 7. Maybe hit some homers, watch that dopey thing, whatever their mascot is, go down that dopey slide. So that'll be nice. Maybe
That'd
they
be
can do
great.
that. So, I mean, again, baseball hasn't been as exciting as we thought. Well, I shouldn't say that. We had two Game 5s last round. It's just the teams that we wanted to move on didn't, so maybe that soured it a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like you said, we did get 2 Game 5s, but yeah, I mean, the Mets obviously didn't make it to the dance, and then the things we were watching that we wanted to happen haven't happened. It's been just a brutal major league end of the season for me. I'm not the biggest baseball fan. I started watching during the pennant races. I kept up with the Mets all year this year, and now I'm like, I'd like to see the Brewers do it. That would be cool, but I had high hopes for Cleveland in that first round. I got to watch a lot of that. The first round, I was really tuned in. It was exciting. It was fun. You get the 4 games starting at early afternoon. And now I'm just kind of like, whatever. But I'll keep up with it because this is what we do. We've got a couple of bucks on. Nobody will hear this because it'll be too late. But we've got a couple of bucks, 1 unit play on the Brewers just for fun, because the fact that they're basically even money at home with their best pitcher going. All right, why not? We need a win, so let's start here.
We have a 1-unit play on the Brewers because 1 unit's about all DraftKings left us after the raping they gave us.
Keeping them alive.
They just gave us an absolute beating. All right, so it's been 2 weeks almost. Give us a little UFC update. Is there anything on the horizon that we should be looking out for to play? Is there anything we missed?
Yeah, well, there's a card coming up this weekend. Brandon Allen's fighting RDR. RDR was supposed to get a title fight. I saw the news. I'm not quite sure why that fell through. It might have been an injury or something. But anyway, I don't think he can lose this fight. Brandon Allen's really good, but RDR is really big for the division. When he's in there with these guys, he looks large. He won, and I thought he was going to lose. And honestly, when we made this pick, it looked like the fight was in the bag for us at the beginning when he fought Robert Whitaker. I don't know, probably 2 months ago now, 3 months ago, and he came back and he stayed in there. He's just so big. He's really unorthodox. You got to lay a lot of juice. So I'm looking to pair him with something. I think Minot, I always pronounce her last name. We pronounce names wrong on the show. Farad is fighting Jasmine, and again, I'll butcher this, Jasmine Vicious. But anyway, Minot just fought for the belt, lost to Shevchenko. No harm in that. Everybody loses to Valentina. But she's basically gone to a decision her last 5 fights. And Jasmine either goes to a decision or subs you, but I don't think she can sub Minot. I don't think she has it. So I think the fight is going to go to a decision. So if you pair, let me get live odds here. If you pair the decision with RDR to get the win, you don't have to bet him to win either way. It gets you to -109, and that's probably how I would play that fight. Because I don't know if Minot's going to win. Sometimes once you lose a title fight, you come back and lose a couple because you're disheartened. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think she's going to get submitted. I think it's going to go the distance. So we'll be putting not a big play, but a play on RDR and Minot to go RDR to win, Minot to go the distance, and it gets you a -109.
Okay.
There's a couple other good fights. Cheeto Vera's fighting. Going to be a really good fight. I don't think he's going to win, but I'm not going to lay the 130 with Zahabi. And Kevin Holland's fighting as well. That should be an exciting fight. If you like him or Mike Malott, it's basically even odds, -102, -118 take one. I don't have a great feeling on it. I think Mike is probably going to win, but I'm probably not going to play that. But good fights. It's a solid fight card. And on top of that, last point is it's free. So if anybody's bored and your college bet is either crushing it and you're going to win, or you're getting crushed, flip it on for a minute.
Yep, and we'll give you official picks Thursday. We'll be back Thursday night with our normal 3-man crew. We'll get Ryan back on here. So Jimmy Keegan reached out to me, our buddy Keegan over there at KC Sports, another KC Sports Authority, another great channel. And he asked if we were going to do an NBA show, and I was like, I don't know, but I since he said it, I said, you know what? Let me get some opinions from Jimmy. I can give mine, but I usually, as you know, I start following basketball. I'll get into it around Christmas and then start monitoring it and then get heavy into it in about February, right around the All-Star break. But the odds here, as we're ready to tip the season off soon, is OKC 2-1 favorite to win the finals. Would you take that? I mean, do you think they can run it back that easily?
No, that's not enough juice. I mean, they can. They're the most talented team, but there's just too many things go wrong during the year. I mean, injuries, attrition. Like there's too many things that can go wrong for me to take 2-1. They are really, really good, obviously, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that's not enough juice. I mean, in my opinion, what do you think?
No, and we'll get to why in a little down the road here when I put up some other stuff. No, because there's just so much more value play. You know me, I'm not a big better of the favorite ever because I just don't think the value's there. I hate taking +200. Now, could they win it? Sure. It's the NBA. Favorites win a lot. I'm going to skip the Cavs. I don't hate your Nuggets 8-1. I don't, but I wish this team didn't wear I wish these players didn't have the name Knicks across it because they're just cursed. But that Knicks squad at 12-1 is where my eyes go. Just like I told you last year after they got by the Celtics, I said, "Well, hold on. This could be the team here that goes on a run," but they found a way to lose the Pacers somehow.
It'll be interesting to see if Mike Brown keeps him healthier going into the playoffs. Because theoretically they're not going to play as many minutes. I'm not going to take the Knicks either. I agree with you on the Nuggets. I'm not being a homer here. I think the fact that they added Cam Johnson and traded Michael Porter. I like Michael Porter, but I think Cam Johnson's a better fit for this team, and I think that move is going to pay off big time. The other thing they did was got Bruce Brown back. He got a big payday after they won the title. Traveled around a little bit, but he landed back in Denver, and he was a big part of that. He made big defensive plays and made big shots in the playoffs. So I think that Denver isn't a terrible pick, but I mean they're 6-1. I don't know. It's still
I got 8-1 at FanDuel.
yeah, that FanDuel would be the place to go then for sure. But I think because of those two things, because they're going to be better defensively, because Michael Porter Jr. wasn't a great defender, Cam Johnson is an upgrade. Bruce Brown is good on both ends of the floor, and then their young guys. Christian Brown is just getting better and better. Strother played pretty good last year. He actually looked like a real NBA player, and Peyton Watson has taken a step forward. So I think the Nuggets could be the team. I'll tell you who I wouldn't take. I'm not taking the Rockets because I don't trust Durant if Steph Curry's not on his team.
It's funny. I was just gonna bring up the Rockets to you. 17-1. You'd sell there. Not even entertaining it. What about the Lakers? Luka 16-1. I just still don't think they have the surrounding pieces. That's my problem there.
I agree. LeBron is hurt to start the season, and he's not getting any younger.
Yes.
Charles Barkley said it at one point when it was an old player. He might have said it about Kobe Bryant, so it didn't age well, rest in peace. But he said that, that he's going to come back healthy. He goes, he's old. Old people don't get healthy; they die.
Right.
Like they're not going to get better. He's 42. It's not going to all of a sudden a nagging injury isn't going to flip around. So I would avoid that. I would avoid the Rockets. I'd avoid the Lakers. I think the Timberwolves, because they were right there 2 years in a row. Sort of they revamped the roster last year. I think that's better value. And I will tell you, I don't think there's a chance in hell this happens. But if the 76ers could ever get Embiid to stay healthy, like the value at 35-1 to me seems really good. And then farther, but I don't see anybody below that I think can win it. I think there's some good fun teams. I think Detroit down there at 60-1 is fun, but like I don't think that's going to happen.
This is a part of the show where Jimmy doesn't take a breath and let me respond to any of his takes before we
go ahead. Get in. We haven't talked about it in a while. I'm just very excited.
Let me fire off some at you because I'd love to go down. So Clippers, I'm not buying them at 17-1, and you skipped them. So I'm assuming we both don't think they're built to go on a run. We don't trust them, right?
Can you trust Kawhi ever?
No. So I'm with you there. But what 20-1 on the Magic? Would you take a piece there? Or is it too light at 20?
I think you know what I would do with the Magic. I don't have it in front of me. We could pull it up, but I would look at their win total.
We're going to go to win totals.
Yeah, I think the Magic. I think that would be a win total play for me for the Magic. Because one thing up and coming teams do is they play hard during the regular season.
Agree. Hawks, I'm going to pass at 27-1. Warriors, I just don't think they can get. I just don't think they can get it done with just Steph. It's 27-1. The Celtics are intriguing for one reason. If they could get in the playoffs, which I think they might, what if Tatum just comes back?
We had that interview where he said he didn't say he wasn't playing. You know what, though? It'll be like Jordan when he came back from baseball. Like, he won't be quite there. It's tough to sit out for that long and be in playing shape. But
didn't Jordan come back from baseball, put 55 up in the Garden on your Knicks?
He might have, but they still got knocked out in, I think, the second round of the playoffs that year.
Right. Well,
then he went back to number 23, and all was well.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and it happened because of, oh my God, who was the player on the Hornets that made the comment? He said 45 isn't 23, and he came out the next game with 23 on. It was it Scott? Who played with Jordan?
Ron Harper played with Jordan that year, obviously.
Or was it the Magic? I'm trying to think. I thought it was the Hornets, and then he wound up beating them. It was definitely the Hornets. Go watch The Last Dance.
I will. Yeah.
Definitely in there. But I'm trying to think of the point guard. Who was the point guard on the Bulls with Jordan at one point? What was it? Couldn't have been Byron Scott, right? That was
no. He wasn't. I don't remember him playing there. I mean, Jordan. I mean, he had Steve Kerr later. Obviously, he had early in his career. He had B.J. Armstrong.
That's who it was. Thank you. It was BJ Armstrong. BJ Armstrong made the comment. 45 is in 23, and then he showed up the next day with 23, and that was lights out Hornets. But lights out Lonzo. Thanks for playing. All right. The other one I circled down the board because you said the Sixers 35-1. If I was taking a 35-1 shot, for me, it would be the Pistons. Because I still think the Pistons are wondering how they didn't get by the Knicks last year.
Yeah. And these odds are wild because I've got 60-1 on DraftKings for the Pistons. So that might sweeten the pot.
Yeah. You get the perfect highlight of why you should shop around if you're making a future bet or any bet. I got FanDuel up on my screen. He's got DraftKings up on his, and look at the difference on.
Yeah, I mean the Pistons are great. Like I said, I think we look at the Pistons as a really good up and coming team. Can they? I mean, Cade Cunningham is fantastic, but there's a chance that he becomes like the Dominique Wilkins. Like he's great, but he's never going to be a champ, right? But he is the team. The whole team's fun to watch. They play old school basketball and they play Detroit style. That's a team to be excited about.
All right. Here's some fun player props. LeBron James to score 10-plus points in all. I'm assuming this means they must be. He has to play. As long as he plays in the game, it's an action, okay?
Okay.
So LeBron James to score 10-plus points in all 25-26 regular season games he plays. Yes, minus 186.
No, I wouldn't take it. He's going to have a game where he scores 7. I guarantee it.
Do you know what the streak is? I mean, 1,292 games.
Yeah, he had some stinkers last year, though.
Apparently, he scored 10-plus, because right here, unless they're lying to us, it says current streak of 10-plus points, 1,292 games.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, but there's a reason why it's not minus 500.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, what would life be without a Bronny James prop, my lord? Will Bronny record a triple-double in 25-26? That'll get you 150-1.
I mean, I put the account on it, right?
You got a better chance of that. I'd rather play that than the double-double at 7.5-1. I'll tell you that.
Does the G League count?
Yeah, he's got no chance of getting a triple-double or a double-double, to be clear.
Yeah. I can't believe it's a bet out there.
Do you think he'll score 25 points in any game? This sounds like a Danbury Dave player right here at 8-1.
No. Yeah, it's only 8-1.
Yeah, it should be 80-1. Will he record 5+ threes in any game? That'll get you 6-1. My lord, what's wrong with these people? Let's see if there's any other funny ones. A little Cooper Flag here. Will Cooper Flag record a triple-double in 25-26, Jimmy? Minus 135.
I mean, that's a good line. I mean, they usually have good lines. Yeah, he could. I would think the assist would be the tough one there, right? Is he going to have a game with 10 assists?
Yeah, I don't know if he was dishing at Duke.
Right. So, and he's not probably going to be the primary ball handler like he was at Duke. Like the ball's not going to work through him. He's got Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie's hurt, so I guess he won't be back for a minute. But I would probably take it though. I would probably say yes. Cooper Flag gets a triple double his rookie year.
You know what? I'd throw a little pizza money on this one just to be fun. I don't know if he'll break 50 at 50-1, but what about 45 plus at 25-1? Any game.
Yeah, it's worth throwing something on. I don't think he will, but at 45-1, I'd rather throw, a single unit on that at 45-1 than 5 units on the triple double and have to have my money tied up all year.
Well, I think the minute they record it, it's a win. You know what I'm saying? So if he goes out,
that makes sense. Yeah.
He goes out game one, records the triple double.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're getting paid.
Yeah, no, I would probably put it on the 45-1, or what is it, 50-1 to score 45?
20.
Yeah, I would probably take that as a dead chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not an outlandish number with today's NBA.
All right, points per game leader in 2025. SGA plus 165, Giannis plus 240, Luka 5-1, the Joker 20-1, Anthony Edwards 17-1, Booker's 30-1, and then they just kind of go way up from there.
I would avoid. Joker's never going to be the top scorer in the league, especially with the team around him. I don't. Luka's not a bad one because he's going to be playing without LeBron at first, so he's going to have quite a few games where he's going to be the guy.
Yep.
And he comes out hot, so that's not bad. I don't think Anthony Edwards would either, but he might be my other of the people you named. That might be my other.
Yeah, that's kind of how I play. You know me. You've known me for a while now. I don't play these. I'll never bet 5-1 on Luka. It's just not worth, to your point, even tying up the money to get a 5-1 return. I don't hate Anthony Edwards. It's 17-1. That's kind of where my eyes start going. All right, maybe. But I would take a shot on Cade Cunningham, 50-1.
Yeah, it's a reasonable thing to do.
I don't hate your boy Jalen either at 60-1.
Yeah, I don't. Could be. They have yeah.
I mean, he's allergic to the assist, so especially in the playoffs. I mean, I've never seen anyone more allergic to an assist in the playoffs than that
I
guy.
wonder if it's going to change now because I mean that was Thibodeau's offense was just boring. It was take up half the shot clock with one person dribbling, find like a pick and roll or an ISO, and then play good defense. So I wonder if they're going to open the offense up and move the ball around a little more.
All right, right now, and write these down on your pad. We'll see how you do. Ready? We're gonna make Jimmy make picks right now. I'll make them too. Christmas Day. Now, I'll be watching football because I love how the NFL said, "Hey NBA, you thought you owned Christmas? Not so fast." I'll put out a triple header just to crush you. Knicks Cavs in the Garden. I always like how Christmas Day, right after presents are done being opened, I can flip on the Knicks. Knicks giving 1.5 to the Cavs at home right now. Who would you go with?
Knicks.
Knicks, okay. Knicks to defend the home court. I like it. I like your confidence there. Then we go to a stinker. OKC. Sorry. OKC. What am I talking about? Thunder here, giving 9.5 to the Spurs.
Is it in San Antonio?
No, it's at home. Sorry.
Oh,
Oklahoma City's at home.
I'm going to take the Spurs. I'll take the dog.
Okay.
If Wemby comes back fully healthy with some pieces around him, it could be a game.
Warriors at home, giving 4.5 to the Mavs. Little Cooper Flag on Christmas for you.
I'll take the Warriors.
Lakers giving 2.5 at home to the Rockets.
Oh man. I'm gonna take the Lakers. I think Luka shows up in big moments. He's gonna show up on Christmas Day. I'm kind of regretting my Warriors pick. I think I'm gonna backtrack that one.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Knicks. I'm with you. I'm gonna take the. No, you know what? I'm with you. I'm gonna take the Spurs. I'll take the Mavs, and I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Rockets too. I think the Rockets are gonna ruin LeBron's Christmas.
All right, so we agree on the Knicks, Spurs, Mavs. We disagree on the Lakers and the Rockets.
And we'll both agree here because you got me sold and you got me completely 180 on the Nuggets. Nuggets giving 4.5 to the T-Wolves.
Yeah. I mean, the T-Wolves do play them well. That's their only problem, but yeah, I'll take the Nuggets.
All right. Before we move on to some regular season wins, and then we'll wrap the NBA up in the next few minutes here. What is a better slate? And for me, it's a no-brainer. You heard the Christmas slate of NBA games. Cavs, Knicks are great. I wish it wasn't noon, but that's the tradition with the Knicks. That should be the 2:30 or 5 o'clock game, in my opinion. That's the marquee game. They left the Celtics off the schedule, which is stupid because they get ratings. But anyways, Spurs, Thunder, Mavs, Warriors could be okay. I guess Rockets, Lakers is a pretty good game. Nobody's going to give a shit at Nuggets, T-Wolves at 10:30 at night unless you're having a losing day in the NFL and need to chase. So that's the NBA slate. So I'd give that C+. Is that fair? Would you go higher? I give it a C+ grade for games on Christmas Day.
Yeah, because I think you give Knicks, Cavs as an A. I think that's the only A game there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a D game, Spurs, Thunder, maybe a C, Mavs, Warriors, maybe a C, Rocket. Well, maybe a B-.
Yeah, the second best game is the 10:30 game. Like you said, nobody's going to watch because it's 10, right. So it's like that's the B game is the last game. They've played each other tough. It's got the best player in the world and maybe the other arguably best player in the world, and it's at 10:30 at night on Christmas when everybody's passed out because they woke up at 5 a.m. to open presents.
Yep. Here's your problem, NBA. It's the NFL schedule because it's an A. You're going to have Cowboys at Commanders, 1 o'clock, and it's going to mean something for both teams probably. You got Lions Vikings at 4:30 in week 17. That's going to mean something for both teams. Again, could be Lions trying to get a 1 seed or a home playoff game. Could be the Vikings trying to get a wild card. And then the 8:15 game, forget late. No one's going to watch LeBron. It's Broncos at Chiefs. Could be for the West.
Yeah, and the other thing the NFL is going for is it like matters this time of year. To your point, like the NBA, it was on Christmas Day because it was kind of when I started watching. Now I follow the Knicks closely all year, and I keep up with the rest of it. Last year at the beginning of the year, Cavs started like 17-0, so followed the Cavs. You know, there were things to watch, but like it was the big stories and the Knicks. But I don't really start following the entire league either until you get to the All-Star break because it's right after the NFL's over.
Right.
So yeah, they're kind of meaningless games. They were something to watch on Christmas, and now that we have meaningful games on Christmas in the NFL, yeah,
And this year just couldn't have worked out better for the NFL. And next year will too, on a Friday, and the year after on a Saturday. And then it'll fall on a Sunday. Oh, we might have a leap year, so it might skip to a Monday. But still, even a Monday, because it's a regular day that they play. So it fell on a Thursday, I should say. And you get a triple header where it's not on a Wednesday where they tried to squeeze in 2 games like last year. You get 3 games. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be. I'm actually surprised, to be honest with you, that the NFL didn't say, hey, you know what? Let's throw a couple Christmas Eves at them, too. So,
yeah.
I mean, I give them credit for not doing that, I guess.
No, it's good games, and you know the way they scheduled them all division rivalries, they kind of hedged their bet against one of the teams not being any good because it would still matter because it's a division rivalry. So they put it together well. I do think it will matter. I think the Cowboys are going to continue to do this thing where they win, lose, but they'll still be relevant. The Commanders, same thing. They've kind of fallen down a little bit, but they'll be there. The Vikings could be questionable, but it's a division game and they're playing the Lions, and I mean, clearly the Broncos and Chiefs. This one they actually saved the best for last, and it'll be at a time we want to watch. So I'll watch the Knicks game that day in full, and then I'll probably just because I like the Nuggets, tune back into the Nuggets on and off, assuming I'm awake.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC is going to be so jumbled up. It wouldn't shock me if the Vikings are still alive in week 17 again for a playoff spot. That's how and we'll get to the NFL later. I don't want to beat that down because we're going to get to that. All right, let me throw a few win totals at you for the marquee teams. The Hawks, who seem to be a sexy pick this year, over under 47.5.
Under.
Unders minus 118. I agree with you there. The Tatumless Celtics, 42.5. I like the over here.
I'd probably, if I had to take one, I would take the over. Yeah, I'd probably avoid, but I think that I still think they can get. I still think they can get over. I think we're talking about going 43 and 39. Yep. I think they can do that without them.
This one's a pass for me. I'll lead with that, but I'm interested in your opinion. The Cavs, I think they just put too good of a number to bet it. 56.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably get there, but it's too high. I'd avoid.
Can the Cooper get them to 41 wins?
Yeah, I mean, they still have Anthony Davis, and they've got the big
Kyrie
kid from Duke,
back.
and they Kyrie Irving's probably out for a while, but he should be back. He blew out his Achilles earlier than
All-Star break, right?
What's that?
When they said All-Star break, possibly he's back.
Yeah, so I think that can happen because Anthony Davis is a really great player, and like I said, I don't know back to draw. Gafford and the other guy from Duke, they've got a bevy of big men. Like they'll be okay. I would take that bet.
Joker 53.5 over under.
I would go over. I think they're coming back. New coach. I mean, they're a 60-win team if they're firing on all cylinders and motivated, and I think they're going to come out motivated this year.
I'm a dead under here. Sorry, LeBron. LeBron and Luka 47.5.
Yeah, if it is, it's because of Luka. I mean LeBron, but I'd probably go under.
This is juiced quite a bit, and I don't know if it's because of the market being in New York. It's the Knicks 52.5. I love the over.
You like the over?
I love the over.
I would only like the over because the Celtics are injured, because the Pacers are injured, right? And So yeah, it makes me nervous to bet on the Knicks. But
Love the over there. I think that over, slam that over is my recommendation. I lean under here. It's the Thunder, which I kind of alluded to earlier. 62.5. I think it's too high. I think they're coming off a championship. I think they'll get out of the gate a little sluggish, and I think they'll win 60 games, but I don't think they're getting to 63.
yeah, it's too high. There's just too many things that could go wrong. The numbers are too high.
All right, let me end with this one for you. How about the sexy pick, the Magic? 50. Can they get to 51 wins? It's 50.5. So can they get to 51? What would that be? 51 and 31?
I
51
don't
and 31.
know. I don't think I'd take it. I think I'd avoid. I think they can. That's a big number, though. Who did? Well, you know what? I'm going to take it. They added Desmond Bain.
Yep.
They finally got a shooter. I mean, last year.
It's a great number. I'll just say that. It's a great number.
It is. I mean, but last year they had Banchero and then our boy from Michigan, and end of list on people that you could count on to show up every day. Desmond Bain shows up every day. He doesn't get hurt. He can handle the ball. He can shoot the three, and he can play defense. So I think Desmond Bain gets him over the hump. I think Atlanta, like you started with, is dead under. They're terrible during the regular season. I don't give a shit who they added. They show up in the playoffs big time, but they're terrible. What's the Pistons number?
You know what? I just closed it out. Hold on. Let me go back for you. Just for you, buddy. Let's see. We're gonna go back to the NBA.
Let me guess it.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what we should have done. That would have been a better segment.
I'll tell you what it should be, and I'll tell you what it should be.
Go ahead.
It should be 48.
You're close. 46.5.
I would take it. 46.5.
Yeah, it's juiced to the under, actually. 46.5 under is 122. I'm with you. I'd go over.
I will take that over. Absolutely. I think, yeah. Desmond Bain's a big addition to the Magic, but Pistons were there. They're a good team. They're only going to get better. Yeah.
So this is the part of the show where you're going to see a couple angry guys talking about the past week of football as we run down the board of what the fuck happened. The theme, I think, that I learned this week, and we kind of talked about it off air a couple weeks ago, there's just no good teams that you can trust. I mean, look, Ohio, I bashed Ohio State in the summer. I was dead wrong that maybe they're one you can trust. Maybe your boys from Indiana are one you can trust. But other than that, I mean, there are just no good teams. NFL too, which we'll get to in the next one. But North Texas, if you looked at the number, North Texas was an absolute play 99 out of 100 times. They were at home, given 1.5 to a ranked team. They were undefeated. Everybody's in love with South Florida. North Texas gets up to a 14-7, then a 21-14 lead, and then boom, they let South Florida score with 1 second to go in the half to tie the game, and then they get absolutely taken at Pound Town in the second half, 42-15 in the second half. I mean, nice life, North Texas. I'm glad you're out and have no prayer to go to a playoff. Hats off to Washington at 5-1. They're still not ranked, but I think they are a decent team. Rutgers got up on them quick 10-0, and Washington said not so fast, 38-19 final. So good win for them at home. Fresno, thank God we didn't bet them, Jimmy, because we talked about maybe betting them because they looked good after the Kansas game, and 1-4 Colorado State team took them out to the woodshed, 49-21. Nice life, Fresno. And we'll get into some of the big games. Ohio State, Illinois. I tell you, I'm impressed with Ohio State. I got on here in the summer, and I got on my soapbox and told you they were going to suck, and they were overrated, and they weren't bringing back many people. Their coach, I told you, sucked. I'm sitting here and I'm eating crow. They were dead. I'm dead wrong. This team is great. They're the favorite for a reason. Illinois is a good football team, and Ohio State dominated them, Jimmy.
Yeah, they did. I don't know, man. I know we were high on Illinois. They are a good football team. They got handled by Indiana. And that was kind of the start of their downfall, right? Like
they got handled by the number 1 and number 3 team in the nation.
True, yeah. But I do think Ohio State's really good. I'm not saying this just because we're Michigan fans. I don't see a dominant force out there. I think this is going to be the most wide open the college playoffs has been in a long time.
And I think the Illinois win, the sandwich win in between those two games, the Indiana beatdown and the Ohio State beatdown, the USC win by 2 points at home is looking better and better.
Yeah.
because USC just dominated our team. And I don't think Michigan's a bad football team. I don't. I think they're a decent football team, and USC dominated them.
Yeah, they are. I mean, when I watch Michigan now, and I know I'm Bryce Underwood, and we're to be fans because we are, but it's just a year early. You see, like he's going to be really good, but he's just turned 18. He reminds me of your boy Josh Allen's rookie season. I remember because somebody we know is a huge Bills fan, and Josh Allen rookie season, you could see the talent was there, but he didn't know when to put touch on the ball. Everything was a rocket. He was overthrowing like there, and that's what I see in Bryce Underwood. It's a little screen pass, and he's just putting too much juice on it still, right? You need a little touch down the field, and he's going to figure that out, right? He's a young kid. He's going to get better. It's just a year early, but if you're a Michigan fan, feel good about the future.
No, you've been saying that the whole thing and the whole season, and you're absolutely right. We're a year early, possibly. There's just a few pieces missing, which hopefully we'll address in the portal. I think we'll be all right next year. It just sucks because Michigan is playoffs or bust, right? That's what we expect from Michigan. Yep. So we'd have to win out at this point to make the playoffs, and that means beating Ohio State, which I can't remember. Is that game bad? And is it in the Big House this year? Yeah, we won
the Michigan game this year is, I think it is in the Horseshoe. Am I wrong?
No,
it's in the Big House. Yeah, you're right.
You beat them in the shoe, and then the corrupt college playoff system still put Ohio State in somehow, and they won a natty.
Yeah, so, we got Washington coming into town this weekend, who you just said is a really good squad. Michigan State, Michigan State
sucks.
Yeah, but it's never easy go into Michigan State to play that game. So they do suck. They'll beat Purdue. Northwestern beat Penn State. So I don't know.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that shit show in a minute.
Maryland's 4-2. I mean, Michigan has not an easy schedule the rest of the way. So who knows?
Yeah, I think they're going to string together some wins here, and then we'll get to that Ohio State game and. Hey, maybe we knock them off again. We've had their number.
That would be
maybe
awesome.
We'll have the confidence. Maybe we'll knock them off again. It ain't going to change anything. Ohio State's still going to go to the championship game and probably go to they're in the playoffs. They'll be the 1 or 2 seed. Ole Miss sneaks by Washington State. That one was alarming. And I don't know if that was a classic look-ahead spot for this week for Ole Miss. But that was 24-21.
Yep. And you wouldn't be totally shocked if they traveled to Washington for that, but the fact that happened at home,
yeah. And the only thing I can come up with is that was a look ahead to Georgia. They're going between the hedges this week, and maybe they were just looking ahead. That's going to be a good game. Ole Miss is a big dog, so it's an interesting line because Georgia opened an 8.5-point favorite. So that'll be one we definitely talk about more on Thursday. Sunbelt Billy got a big win over Texas, but then he went to Texas and got smashed by A&M 34-17 to drop to 2-4. We'll get to Franklin in a minute, but does Sunbelt Billy, does he survive the season here, Jimmy, or is he going back to the Sunbelt?
It looked like they might have hope. Like I said, when we looked at the schedule, we said they might only win one more game all year long, and that could very easily could be true.
The news coming out of Florida, which I have a couple of people who are close to the situation, boosters say if he doesn't win 8 games, he's out.
Well, then he's out for sure.
Because you'd have to win. He would have to win out to get to 8-4, and that's not going to happen.
Oh, and A&M looks good. Not my favorite team in Texas right now, as you know, but they look good.
Nope. We fell for it, everyone. We're just going to let you know up front. Another one. Thank God we didn't have a Thursday show because we fell for it. We said this Oklahoma team's for real. The Red River is always a neutral, so it's a Texas State Fair, so it's a neutral site. You're not playing at the Texas campus. So we said, how do you not take Oklahoma here? Well, here's how you don't take them when Texas outscores them 20-0 in the second half. So
yeah. Mateer comes through with 3 interceptions. He had the thumb. I mean, he had the injury. Maybe did he come back too soon? Was he just rusty? I mean, I don't know, but that's not going to help your case either. So, Yeah, not great.
I think we learned Bama's really good. Missouri's pretty good too, but Bama is really good. I think that loss to Florida State was just game 1 of the year, a little rusty. I think that's what we're learning.
Yeah, the Missouri's biggest problem is they don't have any explosive plays, but they play really good football. I watched a lot of that game. They can't get the ball downfield to save their life. And yeah, Alabama. I'm happy for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, it's tough to follow a legend. So people are already writing his obituary before he even starts, right? So Good for him. I went from hating Alabama to like kind of feeling bad for their coach, and now I'm like, yeah, see, they're okay.
Yeah, they're a good team. So, look, we've gotten a lot of wrong on this podcast. We're not going to lie to you. But what we have done well since we started this show is give you long shot futures. And one we gave to you at 7.5 to 1 when we first were previewing it was Texas Tech to win the Big 12. And this team is legit. We also told you take them to make the playoff at 2 to 1. And both of those tickets are cashing. I think they're winning the Big 12. They're definitely making the playoffs at 2 to 1. This team is legit. Kansas is okay. But this team is legit. 42-17 over Kansas.
Yeah, good game.
Pour one out for poor Auburn. They've played a tough schedule so far. They're 3-3. Georgia got them 20-10. I thought it was a good game. I watched it. Auburn went into halftime up 10-3, and then Georgia just kind of wore them out in the second half. Auburn just couldn't get a break. Auburn drops to 0-3 in the SEC. Season pretty much over. All right. We have hammered this home, Jimmy, for the last 3 weeks. And again, it is absolutely amazing. We talked in the summer, I think like everybody else, we thought LSU'd put up video game numbers on offense and they'd struggle on defense like they always do, but it's been a complete reversal. They win 20-10. South Carolina, as we know, has a good quarterback, decent offense, and the LSU defense shows up again, holds them to 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, Nussmeier's just not who we thought he was. We thought he was going to be a poor man's Joe Burrow, and he's not. He's a college quarterback. He'll go undrafted or go late rounds and be a backup. I mean, he should have taken that next step. He's not. He's throwing interceptions. He's not accurate as he should be. And he's not doing it against the best defenses you've ever saw. Right? It's not like he's going up hasn't come through. So they're lucky they're squeaking by, and they've only lost one game.
USC takes us out 31-13. We went into halftime down a touchdown. I thought we had a chance, but then we got crushed in the second half. What was your thoughts here?
Yeah, same. Like I said, it just looked like you kind of knew when we got behind that we didn't have the firepower at this point to make a big comeback, or to put sustained drives together. Like I said, that'll change as time goes on, but yeah, I kind of felt like it was over when we came out of half. We didn't score that next possession.
Oh, man. If you had Arizona, I feel for you. Because with about 6 minutes to go in that game, it was all over but the shouting for Arizona getting, I think they were getting 3.5. And then BYU tied it. And then BYU said, you know what? We're not going to beat you by 3 in overtime. That would be silly. We're gonna score the touchdown and beat you by 6. So, unfortunately, Arizona loses. That was a tough one. This was the game that we talked about and missed, and we should have went with it, Jimmy. And that was, we said one line stinks more than any other line, and it was Colorado, Iowa State. And we were going to back Dion, and we didn't. And, of course, they go on and win 24-14, and we miss out on it.
Yep.
Who would have thought after beating Bama, Florida State would be 0-3 in the ACC as Pitt goes in there and beats them 30?
It really is unbelievable. Maybe Tommy Castellanos just really had it in for Alabama and said, I'm going all in. And I don't know, maybe they started feeling themselves. So, but it is, yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, look, Pitt isn't a terrible team this year. They're 4-2 now, but Florida State looked legit. So it's really tough to tell these first games of the year when people are kind of getting their bearings about them. What to make of it the rest of the year. But Florida State's not it.
And then the other one, every sharp on the planet, not that many of them listen to this show, but if they do and they're saying not me, you're lying, because I read all the articles. Every sharp on the planet said lay the lumber with Michigan State, who was like an 8.5-point favorite at most books where it closed, over UCLA coming off the Penn State. Figure they go to Michigan
work out?
State. Did not work out well. 38-13 UCLA. So that one I just bring up because all the tickets were on Michigan State from the pros. Pros got crushed on that one. Not really much else to talk about except Penn State loses again. James Franklin gets fired. I'm literally stunned. If you told me in the summer Penn State would be 3-3 and James Franklin wouldn't have a job, I would have told you were out of your mind, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, you were really heavy on them. They should be better. There's
They're
a
the
lot
most
of talk.
talented team in the country on paper, Jimmy.
Right. There's a lot of talk on. We catch some Penn State news on local sports radio here, and a lot of talk about how their facilities, they just pump money into them. They're nicer than some pro facilities. Like, it's unbelievable what they have there. And yeah, James Franklin, gotta go, man. It's time to get
Uh,
out of here.
I mean, he's got 50 million reasons to not be sad, but still, I mean, it is. I mean, not only, and I look, no one wants anyone to be hurt, and it looks like Aller's out probably for the year, right? Now, I don't think
I think
he's
so.
got
Yeah.
a leg injury. But even if he didn't get hurt, I don't think this is a hot take. I don't think this guy's drafted next year.
I don't think so either. Is he? Does he have another year of eligibility? He does, doesn't he?
Is he a junior? I thought he was a senior. Maybe he's a
He
junior. You could be
might be,
right.
but there's a lot of time they pull this shit, especially if he gets hurt early in the year. Depends on
Yeah.
how much he played, right?
No one's drafting this guy next year. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It'd be smart for him to return to school for another year if that was an option.
All right. Let's move on to the other league where it just seems like nobody wants to show that they're a dominant team. I mean, we started the week out with the Eagles getting pasted by the Giants 34-17. And,
Yeah.
Like, what?
Maybe it is the Eagles that started falling apart 2 years ago and then got crushed by Tampa after they started. I don't know.
And then,
Bad.
I mean,
I was on an airplane watching the game. I'm like, what's happening?
if the Broncos played anybody but the Jets, they would be 3-3 because only the Jets would have found a way to lose that game.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn is not looking like the best coach. I don't know if you were watching it, but did you see the end of the first half of that game and the time
Worst,
management?
they should have been fired at halftime. They should have fired the whole coaching staff.
Like like Kurt Warner in the booth was like,
he was going bananas, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was the worst time management, maybe not ever, but like that's hyperbolic, but like at least like it was one of the worst time management situations I've ever saw in my life. And you're probably right. It takes a lot out of you. They played Philly, they won, they flew to England. I don't care if they were there for 3 days. There's some sort of jet lag involved. Like it's a whole thing. So I kind of give Broncos a little bit of a pass. They looked a little bit off
The
timing.
defense was fantastic. It was the offense.
Patrick Surtain is something else. I mean,
he is.
He's so good. But I mean, Bo Nix looked a little off. Timing wasn't perfect. But yeah, they get out of there with a win. They're in good shape, and the Jets are just. And I feel bad for Justin Fields. I'm not an Ohio State guy, but like he just keeps bouncing around, and he's played for so many people. Like hopefully he ends with a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield story where he lands somewhere, somebody can sort of develop him, and he gets to stick around for a little while. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case.
All right. The next game I want to talk about for a second. I was dead wrong on Penn State, right? I'm sitting here, I'm admitting it, and that's fine. But every jerk off in this audience who sent me their little comments about my take on the Colts, anyone want to edit those comments when I told you they were a playoff team, they were going to be good, and watch out for JT and Danny Dimes? Because they're now 5-1.
So the only thing, you're absolutely right. The only big question mark for me was Danny Dimes, and and I don't even think you saw him. Nobody saw him being this good. Like we thought. Your opinion was they're so good around him. They were good with nobody at quarterback, Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson the last year. That they're going to be fine. They're a decent team. They won 7 or 8 games last year, right? With bad quarterback play. Danny Dimes looks like. I mean, we think Baker's the MVP, but he's right there. Like it's shocking. It's an absolute indictment on the Giants staff as a whole.
100%. 100%, but take a timeout. Look, Danny Dimes had a wonderful year. Baker Mayfield, like I said, like we said in the summer, is the most underrated player in the NFL.
He is.
This guy's an absolute freaking baller. We'll get to him in a minute.
But Danny's playing great. You were right. Yeah, and JT looks really good.
Well, look, I was saying this to a colleague today because they were asking me. We were talking about the NFL, and like I said in the summer about JT, is I get it. It seems like he's been around for a while, but he hasn't. Is the reality?
Yeah,
he's 24 years old. Everyone, like he is still a young guy, and like one semi-injury plagued season wasn't going to hold this guy back from having another 3, 4, 5 productive years. If you're in a keeper league and you have JT, keep him for the next 3 years. He's going to be productive till he's 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like I said, I worry about running backs on bad teams that are in that middle because I feel like once they're 3-7, 3-8, they kind of start to sit them down. Because if I was a GM or an NFL, like I would, if my team was out of the playoffs, I would. No, I know they don't want to sit because they've got incentives, right? And I get that, but I'd be like, they only have so many miles on them. That's why they shut down when they're 30. We're not making the playoffs. I'm shutting my stud running back down and putting the backups in so he's fresh for next year.
All right. I can't figure this freaking team out. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. I can't figure them out. I love their coach. I love their quarterback, but I just can't. I love their receiver. I just can't figure out the Chargers, Jimmy.
Kind of I mean, they won.
They won.
Right? They won.
They almost didn't, but they won.
Yeah, they tried to not. Yeah,
they tried to not win.
Seems to happen every year where Herbert really starts hot and then sort of like he's that guy and then he's kind of tapers off a little bit. Now in years past it was due to injury because he got hurt early. I think they're going to be okay. Like I said, it must be tough to play 17 games all on the road. Like,
it's a funny comment Jimmy says every show.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Right? You nowhere you go do you get cheered for, right? Like you have no fans to speak of.
Wow, you're not wrong.
They might as well move them to London. Like move. Like
I mean, I want to.
Nobody will give a shit. Nobody will care that they went to
London. Back to San Diego where they belong. How
and
about
then
that?
Then people will care. But yeah, I don't know. They should be good. They should get better as the year goes on. I was never a Najee Harris fan, so I don't know that he's a huge loss, but it doesn't allow a spell for the rookie, right? So that they can find another running back to because Martin Hampton looks like the real deal. I think they're going to be okay. I think the fact that they didn't play well and they're still 4-2, I think they're going to be all right. Their biggest problem, and we'll get to, I'm sure, is that Kansas City looks like the New England Patriots of years past, where we start to write them off because Tom Brady's 1-2, and here they come, and they're going to get their best receiver back, and here's the evil empire right back at it.
You gotta love the Brewers. They get a 1-0 lead in the first and say, "Hold on, we'll give up 2 in the second." That's what we do here. That's what we do here in Milwaukee. Everybody,
well done,
jerks. All right, here's the other one where Jimmy. It's almost. I'm not going to ask for it here in week 7, but we're getting close to me asking for your apology. What did I tell you in the summer? I told you Vrabel would have this Patriots team ready to go, and here they are. They're going to be, I still think, second place in the East. They're going to be a playoff team, like I said.
Yeah, you probably will end up being right about that. We're getting interrupted. Yeah, upstairs.
I mean,
I know, bad work. Yeah.
I mean, I hear her. Does she not understand I now have to edit at this minute mark? I got to know.
Just leave it go. We're getting interrupted by kids. Yeah. Yeah. I think that they probably will be a playoff team. Your boy, forgetting names. Jesus Christ. Your quarterback looks like he's really taking the next step.
Right? Oh, Drake May?
Drake May looks like he's the real deal. He looks like he's playing loose, right? He's not playing nervous. So he's taking that next step, and they look good. So, yeah, good for them. It's hard to say they won't be a playoff team because, I mean, who is there in the Bills and the Chiefs? And
no
the
one's
Chiefs
good, Jimmy.
Yeah,
that's the whole theme of this week. You can't trust anyone. I was telling my younger brother, this is a week-to-week league because he always looks to the lines and he's like, "Oh, this team," and I'm like, Brian, it's a week-to-week league, my friend. Like you can't look at it that way. You see numbers that don't make sense and they don't make sense for a reason. Like I tried to talk everybody out of betting the Cowboys this week. I knew the Panthers were going to win. And again, it was a close game. They came from behind. They won 30-27. But the Panthers were going to win that game. It's a week-to-week league, everyone. That's what it is.
I agree. I think that 2 predictions that I had, and we've had a ton of them. So, like, a dead clock's right twice a day, and we've guessed enough things that I get it. But I think my Pittsburgh pick at 5-1 is going to win the AFC North because Cleveland's terrible, Cincinnati's terrible, and Baltimore's completely injured and 1-5.
Look, it was an excellent pick by you. I think if you told everybody preseason that Lamar and Burrow were going down, we'd all be like, all right, Jimmy, we'll take the
Of
Steelers too.
course, but I still say look. That's why I said take the value. That both those teams were one injury away.
Right, but you're
But
right.
this is how bad everybody is and how unpredictable it is. My crazy Vegas is going to be the team that makes it that nobody thinks it isn't dead yet because nobody's running away with anything and they had a win last week.
You're right. I thought the Seahawks win was big. I think the Seahawks.
Sam Darnold, good for Sam Darnold, and
Another
Smith-Njigba is legit.
Another indictment on a team, the fucking Jets. I mean, what were they doing with a quarterback? I mean, this guy won 14 regular season games in Minnesota. He's going to win probably another 11 in Seattle.
Yep. They don't know what they're doing. They can't develop a quarterback.
Yep. And then, the Rams get to 4-2. They dominate the injured Ravens. I mean, if you told anyone the Ravens would be 1-5, Jimmy, the Ravens aren't going to make the playoffs. That was probably 10-1 if you bet the no.
The only thing the Ravens have going, and they've talked about it on a lot of sports shows, so this wasn't like my own great research, but if you look at it, the Ravens' schedule is so weak after this. It's if Lamar gets back, they could rattle off.
Do you know when Lamar's projected back?
No, I don't. But I mean, he wasn't an early scratch this week, so I wouldn't think he's out more than a few. But their schedule gets wildly easy, so they could go on a run. Look, I think, I mean, I'm sure you're going to get to this, but gun to my head, I still think Detroit's the team. I really do, even after that loss. I think they're going to figure it out. I think Tampa Bay is good. I think if you're a 49ers fan, you got to feel good about the fact that you're 4-2 with basically a MASH unit, right, behind you.
Seriously, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, the thing that blows my mind, to be honest with you, is that the Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw the last 2 weeks. Like, they look like the Chiefs again, and they're getting their best receiver back, the next game. Like, it's all falling in line. And Travis Kelce has clearly lost a step, but he's figured out a way to contribute even with that step loss. He's not running those, like, skinny posts like he always wrote, just kind of found an opening and then kept going. But he's running quick outs. He's running short slants. He's finding soft spots in the defense and just sitting down and getting first downs. So he's figured out how to play smarter, and they've got Worthy on the outside. Hollywood Brown's no Worthy, but he's fast, and they're getting Rashee Rice back. And they've got 2 running backs. Pacheco and Hunter both good.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I would still take a flyer probably on the Ravens plus 185 to win the North. I would.
I really think the Steelers are going to do it, and not just like when you watch them, Rodgers fails in the playoffs. He's notorious for not letting you turn the ball over, and that's fine during the regular season because you grind games out. But in the playoffs, you got to take some chances. But I mean, they're playing pretty well, and they've got you said it. They got Jonnu Smith, they've got Freiermuth, and they've got they've got 3 tight ends. Do you see that big dude they have? That 300-pounder?
Yeah,
it's wild. He moves very well. They're trying to develop him to be an offensive lineman. He's so big, but I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
What about we brought him up? Baker just absolutely does it again. Just deals over the Niners 30-19. I think this guy is just phenomenal.
He's playing great. Same thing. They're dealing with injury upon injury. They've got Mike Evans out. Ibuka got hurt last game. I don't know if you saw, he threw it. Bo Nix's adopted brother, Tez Johnson, caught his first NFL touchdown. He's like 165 pounds or something. He's tiny, but he's fast. They played together at Oregon, but he just. Bucky Irving was hurt. I mean, they were playing with a second, like a complete. Vita Vea was out on defense. Like, they had nobody playing, and Baker brought them through, and they love it. The only way that doesn't happen, just like the other one, injury. Baker's taking a lot of hits, but they look really, really good. I would not count Tampa. I wouldn't count Tampa out to win it all.
Me either. I think Tampa is a great bet right now to move on to the Super Bowl to get by everybody. I want to pull for the Lions, man. You know I do, but that game against the Chiefs. How are they going to be?
They have like 5 of their 6 starting DBs out. Like, I know it happened last year and they never got him back, right? It's same story. But I think they figure it out. I mean, I do. I think they lost a tough game. They rattled off 4 wins in a row. They lose a tough game. Let's see what they do. They rattle off another 3 wins and they're 7-2. I think we'll feel differently about it. Can they win the big one? I don't know, but outside in the here's outside of Stafford and Jalen Hurts, what quarterback in the NFC can you say, yeah, they win the big game when they're in it, right? If they were in the AFC, you might feel differently, but in the NFC, whether you like him or not, Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl and he's been to another one, and Matthew Stafford's won a Super Bowl and he's a veteran. Everybody else is unproven.
I mean, I hear you, but I would still throw Baker in that mix. I would throw Goff in that mix because we've seen them come back in a fourth quarter when it looked like it was done.
No, I agree, but that's why I say the Lions are going to be okay because I don't think that it's the gauntlet's different. I think they're going to be all right. I think they could come up against one of those teams and it'd be tough.
I don't trust the Packers. I don't know if you do. I don't trust
the Packers. I don't trust Jordan Love in big moments.
I don't. I know the win at Dallas was a nice story that 2 years ago when they went in there and put up 800 points in the playoff game, but I don't trust them. And then
Jordan Love shows flashes of greatness, and then right, like you could tell it's there, but then he makes the bonehead plays like he did against Cleveland when he throws a short slant interception. All he had to do is run the clock out.
Just run the clock out.
Yeah,
run the clock out.
But I mean, seriously, you got Washington, Dallas, New York, no. You've got Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, no. You've got Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, no. Seattle, Arizona, no. You can make an argument for Brock Purdy. You got Matt Stafford, Baker, and Goff, like you said. But the only two that have done it are Stafford and Jalen Hurts. So that's why I think the Lions are still plenty alive because I don't think there's that force to be reckoned with.
No, there is. I don't think there's any great team, like we said at the beginning of the show. I just don't think there's any great team, and I think last night, more than anything, proved it. I don't know. I'm still sitting here trying to figure out how the Bills lost 24-14.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Bijan ran for like 180 yards.
1,000 yards.
Yeah, all the yards. He ran for all the yards.
Yeah, he did. And then the Commanders were in complete control, and then all of a sudden they lost 25 to 24.
Yep, that also happened.
And like we said, we said this in the summer. The North was going to be the most competitive division, and it's proving true.
Yeah, and Chicago looked like absolute garbage, and now they've rattled 3 wins off in a row. I mean, their first 2 games, you were like, hey, Caleb Williams, I don't know what's happening here. And all of a sudden, and hats off to DeAndre Swift for pulling out the fantasy game for us at the last minute when we thought all hope was lost.
Yeah. For you?
Yeah.
He won by 9 points.
Huh? I know, because DeAndre Swift went on that 80-yard touchdown catch at the end of the game.
That's what got it there for you?
Yeah. We got 80 yards, a touchdown, and a reception all in one shot.
I'd still like the payout sheet if you get that for us, because
yeah.
Greg pulled out the top week again.
Yeah, he had a big week, 200 points, big week.
I could have 2 weeks under my belt. I lost by 0.2 that second week. 0.2, Jimmy. A little rough. Let's end with a little fantasy since we just started about it. If you were guessing, I don't know if you know off the top of your head, who do you think so far through 6 weeks QB1 is in fantasy football?
QB1 so far, fantasy football. I'm going to say
PPR. Well, not that it matters for quarterbacks, but PPR leagues is what I have up.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm probably wrong. Is it Danny Dimes?
It's not. He is 1, 2, 3. Danny Dimes is number 7 at 19.6 a game.
Is it Baker?
You want to give you a hint?
Uh-huh.
Because it's the most annoying thing in the NFL that I hate. He does it every play. Come on, who do I make fun of for this every time?
Who am I thinking of?
Mahomes.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
QB1.
You've got him on your team. So
yeah, followed by Allen. Baker's number 3. Jalen Hurts 4. Drake May's averaging over 20 a game. Dak is over 20 a game. And those are your 6 quarterbacks over 20 a game. Danny Dimes, 19.6. Then QB8, which I tried to defend, but people hammered me, is Herbert at 17.9. Told you this guy puts up points. Him and Goff are tied. Let's see. I think the most surprising is the guy who sits on your fantasy team, and that's CJ, way down the board.
Yeah, I mean, he's got no offensive line. He finally had a really good game. He had a bye last week. The game before, he had a really good game. You see what he can do when he has time, but he's not a mobile quarterback. I mean, he can run a little bit, but that's not his thing. And I still think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. They have a very good team. If they could just block for 5 seconds, not 5 seconds, if they could block for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
If they could block for instead of 1.5 seconds, he'd be good. He did put up a good game for us, so I feel good about that. And we'll see what the rest of the year brings because his season's still alive.
How about running back? I mean, this one should be pretty obvious, and they're not separated by much, but can you give me the top 3?
I would think JT, Bijan, and let me think about it for a second.
You got 2.
JT, Bijan, and it's not going to be Saquon this year. It's not going to be Derrick Henry. Although Derrick had a couple big games. We did a couple.
Saquon, by the way, is way down. Just
Yeah,
way down the board.
not going to be CMC. I don't think. Jahmyr Gibbs.
No, it is CMC, and he's only behind Bijan by 1/10 of a point.
Wow.
So Bijan, CMC, and JT are all averaging and over 24 points. 24-8, 24-7, 24-2. And then Josh Jacobs and Devon Achane, who are sitting right there. Who's Achane? Who has Achane again?
Well done. With CMC, it's good that he stayed healthy, and he's the only professional football player on offense that they have currently.
That's a good point.
Everybody else is a replacement player. It's Keanu Reeves coming in to hand him the ball right now.
Then it's Williams, Bucky Irving, who's hurt at 18-7, 18, and then the next best 17-4 game with James Cook. Who has you? Let's go to receivers. This is where it could get interesting.
Nerd. Good. All right, let's do it.
All right. Who do you have for receiver? Who do you think the top receiver fantasy is right now? I don't think you'll get it.
I probably won't since you said it like that. Top receiver fantasy right now.
It's a great guess. He's number 2. No, it's Puka.
Okay, I was pretty close. Number 2.
Who's probably going out. So right now, your top 3 is Puka, Jackson Smith, and Amaran. Followed by, and this is the one, I'll just be honest, if I didn't have the data sitting in front of me, I would have guessed this guy number 1. I would have been off because he's 4th. George Pickens, another one we gave out in the summer, told you guys to pick him up. And then the impressive one to me, and it kind of is like the same thing as, let me see where JJ sits 10 at 16-1 a game, is Jamar Chase. It doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. He's still averaging 18.6 points a game right now. It's pretty impressive considering you only had Burrow for a game and a half. I
concur.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone who...
Did you see Laporta's touchdown? I mean, obviously you did. What a catch at the beginning. Like that. That's what reminds me of Chase, though. Chase just catches it. He had the late touchdown. I don't know, maybe not late, but maybe 4 minutes left to go in the game. It was an awesome catch on the right hash. Yes.
I think the receiver one that blows my mind down the board, that, I mean, you got to be pissed if you have him, and sorry, I'm really not doing this to fuck with you, is AJ Brown, only averaging 9.7 a game.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that could happen to you with AJ Brown is he gets traded in real life. Or they lose 2 games in a row and they realize they have AJ Brown and they start throwing him the damn ball. Because it's what happens. If you watch their games, when they get down, they start throwing the ball. Like, they're super conservative. And then they know they have to take chances, and they start throwing the ball, and he catches everything. But at the beginning of the game, and they won a Super Bowl last year, so I guess you get stuff to argue with. But, yeah, get A.J. Brown the ball.
Can you give me, I'll be impressed if you come up with it, who is the tight end 1 right now in fantasy football?
Tight end 1 right now in fantasy football. Keep it. Oof. Probably not. I'm going to go out on because Brock Bowers is out. McBride's not having a bang up year.
McBride's having a decent year. Believe it or not.
Yeah, he
Quiet.
had a nice touchdown the other night. Kelsey's having an okay year.
Kelsey's okay.
Darren Waller just started playing, but he had a couple great games,
Tight end 3 right now.
which is pretty impressive.
Yep, sure is.
I'm gonna say, I don't know, Jonnu Smith, probably 25th, but I'm just making a random.
I don't even hold on. I'll play where. Oh my god.
He's probably 30th. I'm just saying a random tight end because I have no idea who it could be.
Jonnu Smith is so far down. There he is. Yeah, Jonnu Smith is so far down the board. I had to actually scroll to our next page. 6.6. No, it's Jake Ferguson, tight end, Dallas Cowboys, 16.4.
That makes sense.
Followed by Dallas Goedert, 15.7. Again, the league you put me in, you're a bunch of sweethearts. You guys let me pick him up free off the waiver wire 2 weeks ago. Appreciate
Yeah, because I think we cut him.
Yeah, you did. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So he's sitting on my bench just waiting for anyone to offer me a trade out there.
Well, we didn't think we were going to throw the ball. We're like, well, they're not throwing it to A.J. Brown. They're not going to throw it to Goddard. And then,
Well, they sure do. He's the highest. Yeah. He's the highest point producer on the Eagles after Hurts. All right. Episode 54 in the books, Jimmy. Any final words?
It's good to be back. We'll get back at a regular cadence. We've had a busy life the last couple of weeks, but it's slowing down. So
we'll be back Thursday with our best bets for the weekend. We'll have Ryan join the show. I'm sure we'll get into some movies. Maybe we'll have a few Halloween movies we'll throw out there, Jimmy, as we're getting closer to the 31st of October here. We'll get Ryan's best bets for Blockbuster Halloween. Don't follow us on Instagram because Jimmy's never going to post anything. I don't even know. We're going to close the account. But please follow us on X at whoyougot33. Send us any questions. Email at whoyougot33 on Gmail at Gmail. Any emails you want, questions, comments, concerns. That's where you can get us. We'll answer any game. If you want to throw a game to us that we haven't touched on, please, a team you want, a take you want, just email us there. Whoyougot33 at Gmail. Jimmy, close us out.
Cleveland, you ruined my season, and it's not even fucking November yet again. Go fuck yourself.
All right. I mean, unless you're our DraftKings account, it's never under until it's over.